I think that being inquisitive probably is one of my superpowers. Well, that might be exaggerating a little bit, but it really is powerful, more than you might think. I'm Betty, and what this channel is all about is being able to age strong. And a real important part of that is our cognitive health, or to put it more simply, having a strong brain. Now, being inquisitive might not actually be a superpower, but it is something that can really propel you and cause you to be more effective in your life. And it's more than just being curious, because I thought about that. Being inquisitive is something more, because being curious is just wondering about something. But being inquisitive means that we actually do something to find out about it. Now, I'm going to tell you why I got off on this today. Just this morning, I was sitting on the floor reading, and I was sitting in front of my bookcase, and there I had some books, and I noticed that the publisher on some of the books, the name was Zondervan, and I thought, where does that come from? Inquisitive, right? I thought, Zondervan, sounds like it's Dutch. Now, I looked into it, and I did find the history about that, and actually, there's kind of a joke attached to it, and I'm going to share the story with you at the end of this video. I know, that's not fair, but stick around to the end so you can see. But that's just kind of a quirk about me, I guess, is that I always just wonder about things, and I'll see something that I just don't get, or I wonder about that, or where did that come from, and especially words. I love to see where words and names come from, what their meanings are. But there's just this thing about me, this quirk, that makes me want to look things up. Our brains are always hungry for more information. That's just what our brains feed on. And so we handle that in different ways, and we're always looking to get more information about stuff. Now, a lot of times we look in the wrong places or spend a little too much time in the wrong places, like people scrolling social media or watching a lot of news. And if you want to watch the news or look at your social media, there's nothing wrong with spending some time with that. But that's why it's so addictive. Our brains just always want more. It provokes our curiosity, and so we just keep on scrolling. But when you really think about it, your social media and your news, it's almost like eating packaged junk food for a snack instead of cooking yourself a good home-cooked meal. And so looking up things and finding out information, it might seem kind of like a waste of time. But really, it's brain exercise, and it's not a waste of time because you're actually getting stronger from it. I mean, you think about exercise, like when you exercise your body, and it might seem like a waste of time that you're just down there moving around and not really getting anything done with all that effort. Like if you think, well, if you push the lawnmower, you get some exercise and you get the lawn mowed, you'd actually get something done. But you are getting something done. You're strengthening your brain, you're learning stuff, and just making your life more interesting. And this information isn't just going to add clutter to your brain. It actually does help. And who knows, you might be able to use this information sometime. You might be able to impress your friends, but don't be annoying. Like, I have a 15-year-old granddaughter that loves to learn little bits of information, and every so often she comes up with, did you know? And we know we're going to get some kind of wisdom from that. But don't be annoying with the trivia that you're picking up. Or like a good friend of mine used to describe her husband as being a cesspool of needless information. So we don't want to be annoying, but having all those little bits of information can be a lot of fun. So whether we have a real opportunity to share any of this information that we're getting from being inquisitive, right? That's really not the point. The point is that we are feeding our brain what it wants. It wants information. It wants good, healthy information. It wants things that make sense. And it can be a good replacement for some of that other stuff that we kind of want to feed on that just might not be good for our attitudes and our lives in general. Because focusing on things like that are not going to help our sleep or our health or our stress level. So let's focus on some things that can actually help us to grow. And so go ahead and be inquisitive. It's going to spark your curiosity. It's going to make you more interesting. It's going to broaden your world. And it's going to help you to be a more creative person. And oh, I was going to tell you about Zondervan, where that name came from. So I'll tell you real quick. It's kind of fun. The name Zondervan came from in the 1700s when Napoleon was controlling the area, and he said that everybody had to have a last name. He made a rule. A lot of people didn't have last names there in Netherlands at that time, and so they had to make up something. Now, the name Zondervan, Zonder means without, and van means from. And most of the names that were from nobility, they would say van something, from something, and that was a sign of nobility. So to say Zondervan was to say, I'm not really anybody because I don't have a van in front of my name. So you say, I'm a without van. I'm just a common person. And it was a joke. I think that's great. So now you know. But thanks for watching this video until the end, and I'll catch you in the next one.